So I will.
Good day, everyone. It is Saturday, right here in town. I'm Veronica Bartolini with Codebreaker Real Talk, Unchained Hearts. And again, I have my special guest, Ivan Teller, and co-host Chad Cooper. Welcome, guys. How are
Thank
you?
you.
How has this week been for you, Ivan?
Well, yeah, unusual. I channeled was it Elon Musk and clone, and my internet got shut off right when I was about to tap into it, go further into it. Well, internet was cut off, so for like 10 minutes or something like that. So yeah, that was interesting.
Very. Yeah, I've seen him do what he's wanting to do. And years ago, I said he has a portal that's trying to be open through CERN under Texas. Where he lives, where he works, there's a base that's underground. I told everybody that's the main. I call it Alice in Looking Glass. It could be that, but it's also part of the twin Alice. I call there's two Alice that I see that are, the GPS system, Starlink, etc. And it's also, and I see her below, meaning as above, so below. I see her under in CERN, in the underground base there in Texas. And I told everybody he's trying to get everybody pretty much online. For example, like that movie Transcendent with Johnny Depp. When he continues to live as a, we'll say, being or TV or robot being in the computer, and he's still managing whatever operations, black operations that he's doing there. But it's the same thing that the neural thing, that what he calls those virtual reality things that he's gonna. So they're inventing a new world because of what we talk about all the time, the Ashiana Dean stuff. Okay. They're trying to bring up the beast, which is 666, the one that's under Antarctica, the one that people are saying, oh, it's horrible what's going down there. I think it was Buzz Isaacson or something that went down there and said, I see the whole, he saw horror, he saw evil, pure evil. So I think part of that, because a lot of people are like, oh, it's the Archons, or oh, it's part of the Draco, or oh, it's the Nazi, it's all the bad ETs down there. Well, yeah, there's a base down there, there's a military complex down there, obviously, and it has a lot of beings involved, but at the same time, it's like they're trying to usher in this is their big secret, the beast. So what do you have on that, Ivan or Chad?
Yeah, I don't know if Chad is. Yeah, it's well, Elon is being seen as our, I guess, the savior, our hero. I guess Trump was that, now Elon's doing it. So it's just it's getting kind of old, actually. It's just, but these, they have nothing else to, they have mainstream media they have to feed. They have to feed it with something. So I guess he is the poster boy for now until they bring back a half alive Trump and have two old guys that are barely there, which would be interesting if he does run. They're both checked out. So Trump is pretty much a psyop himself. So his whole thing it just gets exhausting after a while. It's just one thing after the other. So because Elon, they're really selling him, obviously. Just they got nothing else apparently, at least not right now. So, but yeah, the Antarctica, yeah, there's a lot of, I guess the seed bank they have, I guess they have a couple of those. So that's a lot of the elite energies. I mean, connecting to the Kabbalah recently, I was going to do a video on that tonight. The Kabbalah really is like one of the major links to all of this. It's not Judaism. I mean, it's they've practiced it through Judaism, but I don't think it's not Judaism. It really isn't Judaism at all. It's magic, black magic, magicians. That's the heart of.
Or the Black Sun.
Yeah, that's really one of the main, at least that we're allowed to know. It's been
There's,
missed.
it's also the black cube that's in Saturn.
Yeah.
And I was listening to Miles Johnson the other day, because I hardly listen to people anymore. It's like,
Yeah.
I got all my stuff being channeled and it's like, it's crazy up here.
Yeah.
And he was saying about the red cube. I'm like, I knew there was a red cube tied to the, what I see is either the dragon or the spider mother with the red eyes, but I got more like of a dragon feeling. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he was talking about the red cube. And so all those, they're Masonic, what you're talking about earlier. The Kabbalah is mixed in with the Department of Defense. So, and the Vatican and all kinds of stuff. And yes, the red pill, blue pill, the politics is so old. I mean, they want to resurrect, not only do they want to bring back Trump, but JFK, really? Come on, guys. Like, how stupid is this gonna get? And the white hats are like, and go do this and go get the water and go get, yes, I know we have to be prepped, but my goodness, they're just holding the audience captive to being stressed out about having a lot of food and needing a lot of water and ammo and all that. Yes, we know we need that, but come on, every month, like, the Kim Godwin thing. What do you think about her? I don't know about Kim Godwin.
I don't know who that is. Who is that?
She, I mean, she has good points. She talks, she's the one that says that she's in charge of the money here, of the new AI system that's coming in through the back door of the Black Sun project. And basically she's trying to shut the bankers in space and everybody else's money in the background, ushering this new money system thing. And she also talks about Marduk, how she defeated Marduk, but then Penny probably years ago talked about how she saved Marduk. So it's like, okay, Marduk is not here, Marduk is saved, like, what is it, It's another psyop, I feel.
It's get rid of the money. It's good luck with that. It's like, well, so I have to wait, and they're keeping the money system the way it is, obviously. They might go to some crypto, but it's still like the old physical money, so they're not about to pull away from that anytime soon. There's too much power around it.
Right.
So.
Oh yeah. And supposedly she gives like scholarships and stuff to, like, you have to apply online for these loans and these grants. And as long as it's for a business, like, she'll give you the money. So in other words, she's saying that she's in charge. She's the only one in charge, hooked up to this AI system that can help humanity. Now, when I hear it's the only one, I always run the other way.
Yeah.
No.
Doesn't sound good. No. No, that sounds good.
Yeah, I wanted to tell you and the audience, everybody, I had a memory, okay? 2 nights ago, it's been horrible not being able to sleep for 2 nights, but anyway, what's new? I was in a lab, and it was in Mars. I feel that it had the feeling of Mars, okay? And it was all caves. And we were very, very deep underground, and it was just dirt everywhere. There was one man who was in a white, like a science suit. He was like a scientist, like a white lab coat. And there was me. And then he was showing me all of these tables that had like these white computer things. And in my mind, I kept hearing, it's the 10 key, it's the 10 key. I remember as a kid having to learn sign language and stenography, shorthand. And it kind of gave me that feeling like, and these white machines, they were very long, like kind of like a quarter of a piano, Yamaha piano, but with the keyboards would be like thicker, like square. And he had them all covered with white satin white sheets, all of them. He was just showing me that. I don't know if I was going to be in charge of that or what, but what I really didn't like toward the end, when I was walking out of the cave to come back here, because it's a memory, there was this reptilian being. I don't know if you ever seen that movie, Monsters Inc. It's a kids movie. And when you take the screams of kids that are very afraid, and they take the screams, they use them for their powering up, and then at the end they use the laughter. But at the end, when I was trying to leave, there was this reptilian being that looked like that gecko guy. But this guy had like hair, like palm tree hair sticking out. And then he was just like looking at me. It's kind of weird. I'm still trying to figure out, okay, what was I in charge of? What was I just trained in? But that's just a new memory that came up. And then I was reading your book on the rhinoceros and the hippopotamus and all the animal beings. And I have a memory of swimming with the hippopotamus.
That's neat.
Yeah. And like, all kinds of animals, the animal kingdom coming to me. I have memories of living in Lyra, and I was just a lion. There was just a lion planet. And
Yeah.
it was just safe. It was just, I agree with you, Ivan, when you talk about like the animal world. I mean, it's
Yeah.
still here, and that we've been animals. Yes, we have been. And I think I'd rather be more with animals than humans sometimes. But
Well, there's so many agendas here. I mean, there's feline worlds. When I first started opening up, I felt feline worlds. There's some worlds that are similar to ours. Of course, you have Planet of the Apes, where they blow their planets up. So that's so we're not too much different. It's just this is like a dark side of humanity, at least on this planet. It's not all. But yeah, this world's definitely going. I mean, it's up to humanity to change, obviously. You never know. It doesn't have to be like this forever, but it's up to humanity. They're having so much fun living their lives, and nothing wrong with that, being entertained and all that, but that's as far as it goes. Get your job, you go to work, you get your relationship, and that's it. You're go live a little, as they say. But they just live in a bubble, basically. So, but many of us are just incarnated to not be a part of that, which has been very frustrating. Outside the matrix, you can say. It's one way of looking at it. So,
yeah, I say I grow up once a month to pay my bills and be in the matrix. But I don't live in the matrix. I try not to. I was doing very well, and then they sent another CIA love bite. So I was like, oh man, here we go again. So back to being celibate for another year. But I do really good, like just not living in the matrix. I was at the gym reading your book the other day, because on the stair climber you have I do an hour on the stairs. I'm like, I gotta read his book. I gotta do it now. And a friend of mine comes up and he's like, oh man, that's a very interesting book. Like he started just reading it because I had it out like that. And I said, yeah, fifth dimension, dude. And he was saying that he agreed with just a lot of people just being stuck in the 9-to-5 thing, slave world, and the partying, the alcohol. And I mean, I understand some people do it to forget, because it is hard living here. But I don't feel like I live there. I feel I live beyond, in the dimensions, and that's my safety net. How do you do it?
How I do it. Just, yeah, it's not, you stay busy, I guess that's one way that helps, but there's only so much of that. Yeah, it gets frustrating, because especially there's information that we can bring here that we're not always allowed to, due to the rules here. And I mean, like what you're going through, you could probably feel like you can unload your encyclopedia and even exit out of here, actually. But we're not supposed to do that. It's almost like we're playing to the crowd, we're playing music, certain pieces that, the way, it's frustrating, because you can go deeper. And it's just, you just roll with it the best of our ability. But yeah, it's hard. Just but to do the books, I don't really get out much. I don't feel like to connect with. I mean, I have a regular job that has very little hours, but that's frustrating. I don't think it's just I don't know. Even when they do channelings, you can feel people like, I'm not sure about the, you can feel the resistance. You can sense. You probably sense it a lot. Sense it all the time. So.
It's hard being in public. I'm pretty sure it's hard for you too, because everybody knows your story. Everybody knows everything you go through. Even if you don't want to tell people what you're going through, you have your closest friends, and then the closest friends are like, oh man, we gotta huddle in for her, and then it gets out somehow. I know that I frustrate a lot of people because of the CIA love bites, because my friend Lindsay Fireball, I gotta give her credit. She's like, man, they be sending in them Agent Smiths like by the millions for you. Like, yeah, there's a whole psyops, you know. And it happened to be on the meet and greet when I had my friends here that happened. How I don't know. It's I should know by now. I should learn by now. So I think the best option for me is to go celibate another year. It's hard too because some people will avoid me as far as because they think I'm like the saint goody two shoes. I'm like, I'm no saint goody two shoes. Oh, but you're like a super soldier and you were using this program and you're like an angel. And I'm like, dude, I don't even, I want to go home now. Like, I don't want to be here. The other day I was walking, I just took off walking. You know, I went riding before that. And then I'm like, man, what you were saying, I realized that I could just leave anytime. And I was mad at the gods, you know, because we're higher than the gods and we're like them too. And whatever. I was like, you guys owe me. Like, you raised my rent another $200. What the heck? What am I gonna do now? Like, you guys, and then the other side is you guys want me to stay here, then provide. Like this, we can leave, Ivan. We can leave. You're right. It's like we're playing anthro, like a theater. You know, we're just playing the game, and sometimes I'm really passionate, like, oh, I gotta help people, and then other times it's like they don't care.
Yeah, some don't. Yeah, it's well, yeah, just to put your information out there. Yeah, it's very frustrating. Yeah, I know the guys, the spirit guys, that just tell them all to get lost and whatever. They don't know what the hell they're doing, something like that. But, I mean, it's good to put your frustration out there because it does get them out of their comfort zone to do something. So, oh wait, oh you need something? Oh yeah, I was on vacation for like 5 years. Yeah, the spirit world, I think they just they don't always understand. Or maybe
But
they
they
never
know how I
understand.
am. I don't like to ask for help because I know on my superpowers. I do a lot on my abilities. I manifest as much as I can. But yeah, sometimes it gets frustrating. It's like, come on, man, just help me a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just, of course, we have to go through our own lessons, but it just gets kind of ridiculous after a while. It's just, you're preaching to the choir, not getting anywhere with that. So it's like, yeah, it's like, you put that out there. It's, oh, wow, that was nice. It's like, okay, great. It's like, what am I doing here again? I know exactly where you're coming from that. Oh yeah, I talked to God and all that. It's like, what's wrong with you people or beings or whatever you guys are doing over there? It's just,
Yeah. And we discover everything that they're doing. We know what they're doing with the children. We know what they're doing with the animals. We know the labs where they are. We can remote view them. I tell them, okay, well, what now? Like, is this game has to be over, because then why are we here? We're here obviously to change things. We're here to save the kids, help humanity and all that. But then I think, Ivan, I'm like, what if that's just savior mentality? And what if we're just being used again?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
No,
I think
I go through all
because
that.
I got pulled into this out here looking for it. I mean, they kept making me do this. So it's like, you're gonna make me do this. Because I mean, I could have been doing this since 2011. It's like, but I was like, I didn't know what to do with it. So I shut down for 2014. I had like my Moses moment when the guide said, you need to start doing this full time. It's like, well, how do you do that exactly? So I found a psychic group and learned that. And even after that, I shut down. And then I found channeling, channel aliens. Like, that sounds better than just telling people when they're going to get the love of their life, which doesn't seem like it's plenty of people doing that. So, yeah. So I channel all the weird stuff. We get shadow banned by YouTube. We get shadow banned by everything, as you probably know yourself. That gets kind of old after a while. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, in the beginning, getting shadow banned, I got kind of used to it. Maybe that's for my protection. But then I see other people growing. They just started out like a year ago or 2 years ago. It's like, And what the? It's like
Exactly.
they just steam right past you, and you're just like, great.
Yeah, because I told them, I said, okay, you guys want me to channel you. You guys, a galactic channel. I'm like, my goodness, if you're a channeler, you're a remote viewer, you're a star seed, you know how to do all that. You don't have to be like charging people to remote view. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah,
Um, I learned to do sessions with people. You know, sometimes I'll use tarot, sometimes I don't need to. You know how that goes. You don't really,
yeah,
it's just for the
yeah,
people, they want to see stuff. But
yeah,
this is so easy. And I'm like, and then I started doing classes, you know, and like you, I quit my channel because I was told, well, you don't need to be public. You need to go ghost again. And it's like, do I really want to do this? Yes, I have to. Like you, I've been told, I've had
yeah.
many near-death experiences where I literally died for 3 days. I was in the hospital for a month and a half, and it's like
Mm.
I had to come back. I had to come back and
You're sick for 3 days. What was that? You're
dead
sick for
for 3 days.
dead. Yeah, that's what it feels like. I feel like it's like you left your body. You're trying to leave, or you did leave, and
I
they
did.
brought you back.
They brought me back, and you can hear the whole thing on. I have it on called Near Death Experience on Unchained Hearts. But yeah, I talk about that a lot. How what I saw and everything. It was hell, and that's why my whole thing here, Code Breaker, is also breaking religion, because I tell people I saw heaven and hell. I went beyond that. I go, there's more than just being a goody two shoe. What are you gonna do? Go to hell or heaven? Are those the only two options? Is that really why you're living here? The blue pill, the red pill, the Democrats, the Republican. Really? Are you here to play the chess game
No,
and then be praising and worshiping forever, like the Bible says, these gods? Really? Is
oh
that all you're
no.
here for?
Yeah.
I'm not. I gotta tell people, break out of the cycles, break out of the programming. Um, do you, like they say, right? You gotta find out what your mission is. You gotta, or not, maybe you have a contract, people just have a contract not to wake up and not help.
I think that's the majority. Majority is just living life is bliss, even if they do go through difficulties. It's still, you know, you still have the American dream or whatever dream that they're looking for. Or go to the bar and drink themselves to death, and still, yeah, it's amazing what some can manifest. And yeah, we're just here to put out our energy and our knowledge, and then I guess when there's no one else that can receive, or whenever your story is done, you just got to keep talking. That's the thing, when you do spiritual work, we just keep making video. You keep putting your name out there. Where did you get your attention to keep doing this? But it makes sense to put your information out there. People, after we're gone, they'll have all your stuff, and that's important. So they can go through everything that you did and say, oh, look, 1,000 years from now. Oh, that's what she was talking about. Year 10,000. Oh, that's what they're talking about.
That's so funny that you said that, because I was thinking about that last week. I'm like, man, I don't even have a book out there. I'm supposed to write like 6 books, and I'm like, well, they have my stuff in the Akashic record already. This YouTube stuff, even though all of the videos that I had when I had like 1,000+ subscribers is supposedly gone. It's not gone. It's in the Akashic records.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you feel like writing a book, it depends on if you feel like doing it or not. If you don't feel like doing it,
Yeah.
whatever you feel, yeah.
I have some things written down. I have a lot of my memories written down, and I was thinking of just doing like a memory book, and then like
Mhm.
putting all my classes in like another little book, things like that. So, but it's interesting.
And you live by the border, right? Sort
Yes,
of. Yeah, I feel that reptilian energy there.
big time, big time. That's why I'm like, I hardly go out, because as soon as I go out, the eyes are on me. Like, oh
I
crap.
could feel, yeah. I knew somebody in London, and I was on a video call. I could feel the reptilians in London. It's like, geez.
You know what's going on right now, Ivan and Chad? So last week I was still with that person, right? When that person went outside, Chad, I forgot to tell you. I don't know if I told you, but I have a neighbor. I call her the crazy lady. I've already had to call the cops on her. I don't know how many times. You guys know, the people that follow me, you guys know privately what happened the last time. But this last time on Sunday, I go outside and he goes outside, and on the bottom on the sidewalk, there's a broken heart in chalk, and it's pink and it's broken heart, and she has 3 X's on the top, and I'm like, mother, what? And then so I told the guy, just go, my ex, I go, just go. He had to go somewhere. I'll take care of it. So I had to go down there, pour some holy water, sweep it off, and then put some salt on there. It's ridiculous. 3 months ago, she had she painted an eye, a huge eye, and in a square thing, and then puts it like beside the tree, facing my window. The eye was looking up at me, and you guys already know what I have is my eye for the tarot and all that. I started to that week. I go down there and I switch that to the other side. I'm like, I switch it to face east, the sun. Like, no. Speaking of the sun, been wanting to say something. Glad I remembered. Okay. Do you guys remember that movie Transformer? The one where there's a bunch of Transformers, but I was just watching it with my kids again. They're older now. We would just sometimes do that. It's like a scorpion kind of like a lion, I don't know, like a tiger scorpion that comes in. And it has like the metallic tail. During the time there's a chase, one of the, I don't know if he's a sergeant or what, but he says, they're in Egypt, okay? And he says something about, oh, we wouldn't want this to go down because it wouldn't power up the sun. The sun would be gone, he said. So my thing is that the pyramid, at least one pyramid, I know all 3 of them are connected to Sirius B, Orion, and all that, but at least one, if not all, maintain the sun frequency. They maintain the sun, the moon. You know how they say the Anunnaki bring up the sun, bring down the moon. Sometimes they leave the moon up with the sun. But anyway, the veil, the changing of the soldiers, what I call the changing of the soldiers from 3 to 4. That's when people see, like, most will say ghosts or AI. What do you think about that?
I mean, like in Egypt,
Egypt,
the largest pyramid. Yeah,
the
that's
sun.
is that the sun? Isn't that called a sun pyramid? I don't know what they're called. I forget.
I don't know, but I know it has to do with powering the sun. I knew it had something to do with the sun.
That makes sense. It's funny. I'm still picking up the energies around where you live. I feel like underground base. I feel the human trafficking. I feel like they keep them underground for a while for certain reasons, scanning them, maybe microchip of some of them.
Here they've taken me before through Davis Mountain Air Force Base, and then I live right beside A Mountain, so there's a base down there.
Yeah.
The border's just right here. What else? The airport is here. Arivaca. Yeah, I don't know if you've heard of Arivaca or Sasabe. Those are huge child trafficking and
what is those groups, or what is that?
They're cities. Arivaca City, Arivaca in English. It's close.
That's in Arizona, or where is it?
It's going south. So it's Tucson, then we have Patagonia to Mococri to Tubac, Tubac, Arivaca, Rio Rico, and then we have Nogales. And the other way towards Sal's, which is the reservation, is Sasabe, Sasabe, Sal's, close to the border.
Well, you're safe where you are. I mean, you don't want to go outside, but it's safe overall, it feels like, because you're in a big city. Yeah, if you're in one of those smaller cities, yeah, that might be a different story there. Because they can take people and nobody will know. Some of those cities seem like they're artificial, meaning that the government ran. They're like fronts. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there, right?
Yeah, they even, I think I talked about it before, they took down Kitt Peak in Cells. Kitt Peak was a huge observatory and telescope. And when the whole thing, a few years ago, when they closed a lot of the observatories, they closed this one. And
Yeah.
this, we have Lucifer here. That was one, I think that was Lucifer telescope here in Arizona.
Yeah,
This-
didn't they closed those in 2000 or
Something like that.
2020, something like that? Okay, yeah.
This one, they closed, I think 2018 was
Okay,
remember
yeah, I can't remember.
when they
Yeah.
finally were letting more of the ships come in through the sun.
Yeah, something was being seen. Yeah, then they closed them all. Yeah. They didn't reopen. Well, I guess they reopened them quietly, but not publicly, probably. Yeah.
Just like when they closed NASA, but it's still going.
Yeah. A joke. It's just not just oh well. They just keep it going as long as they can. Yeah, Mexico. I mean, Mexico is ran by the US, it feels like.
Yes.
Secretly.
Mhm.
So
It is.
yeah, something's definitely going on because yeah, Netflix had their fall. Disney got their powers removed, which is a big deal because they're kind of like the Vatican in Florida, so they got revoked, and that was on 420. Not much happened, but that was kind of and they moved on that pretty fast too. So something's there's something else that happened. I guess the whole Twitter thing with Elon Musk. Something's definitely it's kind of a reset going on at the moment.
Glad
That's
you
cool.
brought that up. My cousin and my sister, they both had Verizon last week and they couldn't talk for like 2 days.
Yeah, something's up.
But
Yeah, something's it feels like the virus agenda is here. It's not the virus, it's something, it's another agenda, but it's real quiet though. It hasn't fully been unleashed, whatever that's I guess we'll find out soon enough. So it's yeah, it's something's the whole Elon, I guess Elon is just our entertainer for now. Until they come up with something else.
wait, but okay, I don't follow the news, but I'm at the gym and whatever, and I kind of caught a glimpse of Johnny Depp being in court. I'm like, is he
Yeah.
acting? Is
No,
he
no.
acting?
Well, he's in court right now. I don't know if he's acting.
It just, how much did they pay him to come with all this? What are they gonna do for him now?
What for Johnny Depp? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, what's going on with that? Does Chad, do you know what's going on with Johnny Depp? Because he was one of my handlers as well as Morgan Freeman. So I gotta find out what's going on.
Oh,
I mean,
Depp was one of your handlers, or
yes, Johnny Depp and Morgan Freeman. Horrible.
in a good way or a bad way? Obviously, a bad way, probably. Right?
Morgan Freeman, he was like the CIA guy head. He taught me a few things of protection, but I didn't like working with him because I had to do many things that I was going to do.
Weird.
And then
Veronica,
go ahead.
I'm going to be hopping off here in just a moment. And I know Ivan has to leave here too, I think in just a moment, if it's all right. I'm at work now. So
Oh,
can you hear me just fine?
Yeah.
Yes. Did you want to?
Yeah, there's a lot to say about what you guys were discussing. I mean, I'm not going to fully jump on board yet that everything's a psyop because it's so hard to predict it when there's clones and there's programming going on. Wondering what's the next big thing. I was just listening to on Super Soldier Chat or something with this lady, Worley, I think Laura Worley, I think was her last name. She was talking about the New World Order. And how a lot of us have had programming put into us to be activated, and like this war is just going along with that programming to initiate it even more so, and that there's a certain chain of events that happen that just sort of initiate it, but that our generals are programmed, our leaders are programmed and such like that. So it's hard to predict what Elon's doing. It's hard to predict what Trump's doing. It's hard to predict who's a psyop and who's just playing the game, the short route or the long route and that sort of thing. I am going to start focusing on what's most important is what do we do with all of this? And there is a way to deprogram ourselves. And that's really important right now, I think, to be focusing on not just manifesting, but also like deprogramming ourselves, because we can be activated. It's scary when you listen to like how these programs get installed into us. It happens when we're near death. It happens when we're at our weakest. It happens when we're all drugged up. It happens when they have us in that moment and they just shove that all in a isolated little spot in our mind. And then there's a little switch that can be flipped one day. So, not to be part of that program and not to react to these things. I think deprogramming is really important right now, especially. And then I'm going to hop off here in just a second because I know everybody has to go. And
it's good to, it's okay to observe what's going on, but not to let it, interfere with you too much. So, or just people just shut off altogether, which is fine also. So,
oh yeah, I'm watching everything avidly, but I just can't come to any conclusions just yet, just because there's so much at play here. It's like, what's a clone and what's a program and what's a possession and what's a spell and what's an illusion. It's just like, it's kind of a swamp.
Some things we're just not supposed to figure out. I mean, I think we just got to roll with it. It's on how we handle it and everything,
Yeah.
So
I just disconnect. Once I don't feel that it's a live thing, that it's other than AI. If I just feel that it's AI, I let that go. Because I was listening to Corey Good for years and David Wilcock, and then I discovered they're frauds. I stopped watching them.
Yeah.
And I won't go there again. I know Corey Good's hooked up to AI. So it's like he's feeding the master AI here, the master puppet, I guess we can say. But I mean, I'm not saying that everything is a psyop. I just feel, I put my feelers in and I'm like, I don't really want to get into that. Because a lot of people, they make their money on YouTube talking about scaring people about, the military, about the Trump thing, the Q movement, FEMA camps. I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, they exist. But the more you feed into them, that's going to be your guys' reality, not mine. That's what I'm trying to say. We all have a choice to live in different dimensions because we are multidimensional. We're already living that. Here in the 3D is the nitty gritty. This is where we have to do the work. It's easier when we're in the astral or when we go out of body, like, or physically take our body to the other dimension because we can.
Well, even in the astral, it's not all cake and ice cream there either.
No,
because you could be in someone else's reality and not even realize it.
But at least it manifests faster.
Exactly. So it's just as confusing there as it is here in a lot of ways. We just hear it physically. That's all.
Yeah.
So
Here,
I think
I gotta bring my meat suit with me.
Just we're here physical. So it's just like we're sitting in the seats watching the movie play out, and that's what's the frustrating part because you can't. I mean, you can astrally peek what's going on, but then you forget. So we all pretty much, I believe a lot of us know what's happening, but we're not allowed to remember it. So the whole psyop and this and that, we just have to, unless we know the better.
And that's why we have some of our memories. That's why we keep talking. We keep saying, hey, this is what I remember now. I woke up and this is what I remember now. So, it's funny, Chad, he was talking about the UN and NWO, that lady was saying that because I've been programmed since 3rd grade, especially in 7th grade and in 9th and 10th grade, the whole politics thing. They gave me a scholarship to go to this thing called Close Up in Washington, D.C. because I was supposed to be a politician. They had me in, I was putting up signs for the Republicans, the Democrats. I was, trying to figure out, like, kind of like religion when I was having to study the Buddhism, the Christianity, the Hinduism and all that. I was just trying to find me, and it's funny that you said that because we did do a lot of study in high school, especially about the UN. And I was programmed through Reagan. I was programmed through I would remote view him all the time. I didn't know back then what I was doing. I was always like if he was one of my handlers. I know Bush was for sure. Bush Senior.
Oh yeah. Johnny Depp felt like an amphibian energy is a frog being.
Yeah. Yeah. It does feel like that.
Yeah. He's doing that trial. I mean, anybody can be in those situations. I mean,
I just hope it's real, real what he's.
Oh, was it? Who knows?
I
think it's both sides. They're kind of both they just put what each other on fire. So
I mean, they're paid actors, you know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. But depth, I don't know. I mean, I feel like there is good there. I think he is who he says he is, but you know, who knows? Not that matters. Yeah, exactly. It just, I mean, I feel like the Chad talked about the program. And we programmed before we were born. It feels like certain programs work, some don't. We're already, we have no choice. That's well, we do, just not incarnate here. Of course, then we turn it off, we turn it on, we do whatever we, you know. Obviously, if you're outside of the programming, the mainstream program, it's more difficult, but like the schooling and all that. So, I mean, you can say technically we have to compromise in some ways, you know, like the job, the schooling, some things you just, I mean, how is you going to function here? You have to do some kind of, you have to plug into something like, you know, like with channeling of that offers session, you got to do something. I mean, unless you get some other means to fulfill, you know, you have to do, you know, like with the channeling work, just being directed to keep my energy out there,
Yeah,
whatever it is, to whoever needs it, you know.
I do too. I mean, I'll wake up sometimes, I'm like, oh, shoot, like I have to contact this person because they came in to give me, you know, a message for them. Or I'll be washing dishes or working out and it's like, oh, somebody wants to come in and talk. And sometimes I don't know who the particular person is that I have to talk to. So I'll just make a little video and say, oh, or on Instagram, hey, this is what I got down. If any, who is it for? Let me know. And I do the same thing as you. I do the sessions. I could channel the loved ones that have gone, or
Yeah,
it's amazing what we can do. It's,
yeah, yeah.
you know, and it's hard for me to read because I'm always like code breaking everything. I'm like, oh no, this is what they meant, and oh oh okay, like scientific stuff, you know. Yeah, it could be nothing to do with science, but then you could be reading a novel and it's like, oh wow, you know, about romance, and it's like, oh man, this is what they meant. This technology, like it'll go. I don't know. Does it happen to you?
Yeah, I get, yeah, yeah, so, somewhere, but yeah, it gets, I mean, a lot of things I cut off from things that I'm supposed to understand and I just don't pay attention, but yeah, just kind of with it the best I can. So, but it does feel like there's something on the way. I don't know what it is, but like I said, we have all the knowledge with us already, but astrally they cut us off, so we don't remember to play this role over here. But sometimes we're allowed to know things. So if you know too much, and then back in I think it's 2017, so I saw something in astral. I was around nobody. I was sick for like 6 months. Sick and nothing got rid of it. I did something. I saw some. I think I saw before the whole virus pandemic thing happened. It's my feeling. So yeah, some people know more than they should, and they all of a sudden they get sick. They write a book about wormholes or whatever it is, and all of a sudden they can get ill. Or I mean, you've been through something similar to that. So yeah, some people want to know all the knowledge. Like, you sure about that? It's like, yeah, be careful with that. So we're just doing what we're allowed to do right now. So
Yeah. Right now I'm going through something. So I know something major's gonna happen because just my whole physical, even working out, the whole much of stuff that I work out, bikes, eating right, it's just something's about to happen. So it's a breakthrough. I know I'm about to have a breakthrough, and that's why they sent the CIA love bite again, because I was tapping into something. And another good thing that happens when that happens is people are being weeded out. So people are going to be leaving my space, you know, so that I can meet new people, the people that are ready. I'm getting rid of what they call groupies, because I don't do groupies. I do real life and real love. My superpower is unconditional love. Nobody can come at me if I love unconditionally. Yes, I got my two swords. I got my weapons of mass destruction, right? But ultimately, every time I go through something like this or something harder, it's all about love. Like your superpower is from within. Like nobody can mess with you when you're legit. That's why, the first channel that I named was Unchaining Hearts, Unchained Hearts, right? You unchain your heart, unmask your soul, because ultimately you're going to be left with a shell at the end anyway. That's in the deathbed or whatever. You got to come to your senses. So why not now? Why not get rid of the jealousy? Why not get rid of the I'm better than thou syndrome, and stop feeding the gods, stop feeding the Maitreya's, the Buddhas, you know, the you got to follow me or it's the highway kind of a thing. It's the same thing with YouTubers too. I mean, we got to be careful too. That's why I'd rather be legit and tell my story every day if I must, and leave a footprint here for maybe somebody that's wanting to start out in the near future. Oh, this is how they did it, because I feel really connected to Edward Casey for some reason.
Oh, Edgar Casey.
Yeah, Edgar Casey.
Edgar
Sorry.
Casey.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one thing I've realized: some of the major spiritual channels that are, I guess you get the new age energy, but they only go so far. Obviously, not to say they're not legit. I guess they're legit, but they're not. They're just not. It's like when you talk about like what you're talking about, or I talk about, it's like acid rain to them. It's like a comfort zone that they create that reality, and there's other SSP psyops that are real, definitely, that are, I guess, too strange for some to take in. I don't know. It doesn't even hit the mainstream sometimes. There's definitely something going on here. Well, like with SSP, I feel like the moon plays a big role. I was going to tap into that tonight. The moon seems to be the main.
I turn into a werewolf when it's a full moon. It's horrible. I can't sleep.
Yeah, it's like the dust star. There's definitely something going on with that for sure. Yeah.
Well, I see that they send the weapons, the DEW, the different weapons to mess with the different, like Chad and I were talking about, like we have different implants. There's an implant like in our heart, an implant right here in the back, implants everywhere in our body, really, our digestive system, our brain, right? Our eyes, our tendons. So they send these, especially during the full moon, along with the high-pitched noises, in our ears, the dull ones, the ones that are like really deep, that you feel like you're being wrapped in something.
Yeah, sometimes sometimes I feel like they're just letting us know that they're there. Sometimes I guess it's good, but yeah, there are others that are, especially when you sneeze. When you sneeze, somebody's there. It's like not somebody's there is messing with it.
When I sneeze, I always say, "How did I get $1 million today?" Or "How did I get those to be so smart?" Or "How is it that planet Earth got saved so fast?" Just something to help the environment.
There are beings that they get irritated with you, so they come into your energy and make you sneeze and all that, just to screw with you. So I guess we'll find out where things. Obviously we'll find out, but definitely it's quiet. Whatever it is, it's not Ukraine. Whatever it is, I know Ukraine looks like it's an obvious place, but that's bizarre. I mean, that can be over right now, but that has an agenda, obviously. And that might go on for years, which is messed up. Yeah, they could have took it over in a day. Yeah, definitely. It's Russia. This whole slow moving in, so I don't think the US is going to get involved public. Well, maybe one day. I don't know.
Yeah, I just find it interesting how when this whole pandemic thing, they just opened up the borders to Mexico, I believe it was December or January, the end of December. Yeah. So all the stores, especially here close to the border, were packed with supplies, clothes, you name it. I mean, they were overpacked because they're used to the people coming from Mexico here to shop, and they pay cash. They every Christmas time they get their bonuses from their government, from their work, and they don't just shop one cart. They go with three or four, full carts, and they help our economy. And I know that the US and Mexico work together, especially the cartels. Won't even go there.
Well, yeah, it feels like the shadow government in Mexico feels like that's from the US. That's an interesting.
And I have friends that still work for the DOD, and some that I have retired, and it's just a game. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many things that people don't even know about. I'm like, dang, these people must be living in bliss. Sometimes knowing a lot, it kind of sucks.
Well, yeah, yesterday I was doing a video about the Queen. I wasn't looking for her, but I felt like 1950. I feel like she got switched out. At least that's what it feels like. Like whoever that is, it's a Queen program. It's like a computer program. So it's whoever, you just put whatever they need for her to.
Yeah, even recently, even in 2019, I felt that she was switched out.
Yeah.
It was because James Rink had me channel her energy, and she was not at Buckingham Palace. She was underground somewhere. They had her in another country.
Yeah, I can
Like in a
imagine.
lab. It felt kind of like a lab. The queen that we have now is not the same.
Yeah, whatever this is.
And there's something that was going on with one of the what's her name? Diana, Princess Diana's son, the one with the redhead, what's his name? He had the kid, he had a baby recently, and he was
Harry, yeah, Harry is not looking
he
good.
is totally super soldier op, black ops out, pretty much. That's what I see.
Yeah. He's definitely, yeah, they said something about MI6 or something like that. That was helping him therapy wise. Like, that sounds great.
That sounds like James Caswell.
Oh, just great. Just sure. Yeah. I mean, I think he is against the whole monarchy, though. I feel that from him. Like, he's part of his mother is there. So,
Yeah.
everybody else sold out.
Yeah.
It definitely, when the queen leaves, it will never be the same again. This is just no way.
No, and then real quick, back in the day, they were saying, Sergeant Trump, that Donald Trump was supposedly going to be the next king, and then they were making coins and stuff.
Sure. Oh, that's scary. But I feel like him mentally is kind of dialing out right now. So I don't know if he's going to make it to the presidential. Like, I care, but not that matters. But it sure would be entertaining if him and Biden run against each other. Or it'd be interesting if Hillary starts to run again. That'd be so bizarre. Hillary and Trump start running against each other. That would just, because I can't imagine Biden's going to stay in, but who knows?
There is something that's coming though in the politics because they need a new distraction. And it has to do with Saturn.
Well, AOC, she's in you know who she is, right?
Who?
AOC, she's in the AOC, she's Alexandria Cortez, she's in the Congress, she's a congressman, she's all over the news. She's a big mouth. She's she'd be a bartender, then she got pulled into Congress, she got voted in. She's like another like a future Nancy Pelosi is like.
I was just gonna say that, yes.
Nancy Pelosi, it looks like a demonic beings, all kinds of stuff going through her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how they're keeping these guys alive as long as they can. So.
Right. That the Cortez, isn't that Mexican girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's owning,
Totally being used totally for the Democrats.
Yeah, definitely.
And the kids, the youth.
Yeah, it's working. It is. Love her, hate her. She's still,
You should see, like, I've talked to the older Mexican men. Oh, she's so beautiful. She's so smart. I can't believe we finally have someone. I'm like, bro, you're love struck.
Yeah, just another part. I mean, well, the presidential, I mean, it's all set up. I mean, they're not just going to let anybody up there. They're not going to just put anybody in president.
It's a new agenda that they're going to be doing with the Hispanic, especially I see the Hispanic movement. First it was like the BLM thing, and now it's going toward that too. Kind of like, I feel like kind of Cesar Chavez, kind of like, hey, brown power. I kind of feel like there's a new movement that's going to come up. Maybe not the Hispanics, but it just feels that
Eventually.
it's like a war.
Yeah.
Mind war.
Well, we're definitely going to have a female president eventually. I don't know if maybe in our lifetime.
2026.
Yeah. I mean, what they have in there now is just they're not Biden's not qualified to be in that position. It doesn't matter, I guess. Put whoever they want in there. It's like the MySpace version of politics. Just so yeah, Biden, I guess, is just there. I mean, I feel like it's going to be there. I'm surprised it lasted this long. So I guess he should be there for 2 more years, I guess. 2 more years. So 23, 20, yeah. So bizarre. Just like we're in a twilight zone.
You think Obama's gonna do something? Because I feel like his clone is up to something too.
I would think only just PR stuff. I don't think he's going to try and he can't run again. So
No.
yeah, he's just trying to, hey, look at me, I'm over here playing basketball. I'm so
I was
cool.
just gonna say basketball.
Hey, I can feel that from him. He must really love it. He's like an NBA player, but he's in politics. Just.
And Veronica, we're about at the top of the hour there.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, it was a
Ivan,
great conversation there. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, guys.
Ivan, do you want to be on next Sunday at 3 p.m.?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna be out of town.
Okay.
I'm gonna be at that convention, so next week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in Illinois somewhere. Where Bigfoot is?
You know,
Granton.
I was
Somewhere
supposed to be there, but couldn't get there. Illinois one, yeah. My friend Lisa will be there. Okay,
Yeah,
so
Journey of Truth, yeah, I'll be there. So you just email me, we'll figure something out.
yay! Journey to, yeah, those guys are
Yeah,
cool.
Journey of Truth, yeah. So
You'll be fun. It's next weekend, the whole.
Yeah, I'll be gone the whole week. Yeah, I'm leaving Sunday, early Sunday. Yeah, so I won't have a place. Yeah, next week is not a good week. So
Go sell some Oracle cards over there and some of your books.
yeah, well, the oracles are on the way. I'm not sure when I'll get those. I might have to just advertise those.
You're gonna have fun. You're gonna have a lot of fun.
So okay, all right.
All right. Well,
thanks.
Ivan, let everybody know how they can get a hold of you, and then Chad, and then y'all know how to get a hold of me first.
Yeah, ivantower.com. Just search on YouTube. Yeah, I'll share this also. So all right. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
So,
And Chad, you're on Instagram, right? Oh, he's at work. Chad Cooper 44.
I'm on Instagram. Sorry, I thought I was still on mute. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Get a hold of me on Instagram, please. Thank you.
All righty, guys. I'll put all the information down as soon as it converts and goes up to YouTube. I love you all so much. Thank you for joining me today, and have a great rest of your weekend. And Ivan, I can't wait for you to come back and tell us what you learned out there.
sure. Yeah. No doubt. Yeah.
Super Soldier Conference. Okay.
That's good. All right. Blessings. All right.
Bye.